Hi everybody, it's Paige. Just an announcement. So I'm going to teach one more class on YouTube. I'm going to upload it this weekend, and then Monday we're going to have Zoom and in-person yoga classes at noon, and we're also going to have classes on Thursday. We're going to have 2 classes a week to start. Me and Karen are going to be teaching it. So make sure if you want to come in person, either on Monday or Thursday. I'm also going to Zoom it, and we're not going to do these YouTube things anymore, videos. So we're going to be transferring over. I'm sure you'll get notification of all that, but I wanted to just put it out there on here. So if you have questions before then, you can still reach out to me through here or any other form, like email or anything like that. But we got 30 minutes, so let's go ahead and get started here. Child's pose, always a great place to start. Knees wide, open the hips, push your tailbone back, lengthen your spine forward, and then bring your forehead down. Close your eyes. Use the inhale to kind of expand bigger, and then the exhale to soften and ground down. And take some time here to listen to your quality of breath. And as we move through this practice today, I want us to connect into what gets us really excited about the practice. What gets you motivated, what gets you like pumped up and feel really energized from this practice, because there's days that we don't feel like that now, especially because our adrenals are being taxed every day from just constant stress. So right now, what gets you super excited to practice? Whatever it is, I want you to keep reconnecting to that and allowing it to be your why to really drive you through this practice. So it can be something we get to do, we get to enjoy, and let's have some fun with it. So we'll go ahead and make our way up into tabletop. If you want to stretch the wrist, flip them back. A few cat-cows like this. Exhale, round the spine in. Inhale, open it up. A few more sets here. Follow the breath, feel free to close your eyes. Tap into all the sensation you can. So we're showing up for every single part of this practice, whatever that may look like. So whenever you feel like you get distracted, just connect into your why. What keeps bringing you back to why you enjoy coming back to your mat over and over. Go ahead and neutral tabletop. From here, let's go with the fingertips straight forward. And we're going to go ahead and kick the right shin out to the right, left leg behind you, modified side plank, and then reach your left arm behind you and circle it down, then up. Big circles with that left shoulder. And then we're going to thread the needle as we bring that left hand down, left knee down. We're going to thread it. Open up here for just a moment. We're not going to stay here very long, right, because it's a short practice, so just getting in as much as we can. And then bring the left arm back up high, rotate through the wrist in both directions, and bring the left hand back and down. Left foot out to the left, right leg behind you, modified side plank. We're gonna reach the right hand down, circle it back up, and a few more sets like that. Just to get that nice rotation, you can even lean back into it. And we're gonna thread the needle as the right hand starts to bring yourself back down, right knee down, thread it underneath. Push into the left hand for this one. Gaze up to the ceiling. So you're finding even like more of a twist here than just getting into the shoulder. One more breath. Right arm goes back up high. Rotate through the wrist in both directions. Bring your right hand back and down. From here, walk your hands a little bit forward. Toes curl under. Downward facing dog. And then play around with your down dog for a moment. Wiggle around in it, see how it's feeling. This is my second practice of the day, so I'm feeling pretty warmed up. And sometimes it's hard for me, even as a teacher, to get motivated to come to my mat, but I always remember how I feel by the end. That's a big motivator. That's a big why. But whatever it is, whatever your reason is, it really doesn't matter how small or big it sounds. Whatever gets you to your mat, what gets you to practice, and what keeps you coming back. One more breath here. Shift into a high plank, bend your knees, then push your hips back towards your heels, And then lift your hips up to down dog and then like roll into a high plank, bend your knees and play with this kind of rolling action. So bend the knees, roll high plank. And a few more of those. Pressing those hands fully. One more time. And then we'll go ahead and find our way to our down dog. Walk your hands back to the feet. Ragdoll for a moment. Shake it out. Try to let go of any resistance here for a moment. And from here, we'll go ahead and interlace the hands behind your back. Reach your fist forward. Let your head drop. You can bend one knee and the other if you want to lean into it. And then we'll go ahead and gently release the arms. Toes out, heels in. Let's sit down into frog or malasana. Use the elbows to push the knees apart. If you're feeling like you need to roll through your neck, release in the neck here. Go both directions. At any point, feel free to close your eyes. You can even roll the wrist here. We're gonna come up, 5-pointed star on the inhale. Nice and slow, big breath in. Exhale, reach it over to the right. Inhale, back up. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, back up. Point your toes forward. And exhale, back bend here. Open your heart and throat. Inhale, reach it back up high. And as you exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, lift the toes. Plant your palms and step to a wide-legged high plank. Roll to the right. Feet staggered, left arm goes back up high. Left hand down. Switch to the other side. Right arm high. Lift the hips. And then back to high plank. Shift forward. Lower down. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Drag the feet forward. Press into the hands. Downward facing dog. Right leg high on the inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale high, bend your knee. Exhale, open the hip. And then straighten your right leg out and bring it through low lunge. We're gonna go for warrior one. Bring it up. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse warrior, inhale. And extended side angle with both arms forward. Hold here, keep rolling your left shoulder, left hip back. Take another round of breath. Now, keep your arms like they are for a moment. You're gonna have your back toes curl under, pulling the left hip forward. So it's like crescent lunge legs, but you're reaching forward, leaning forward. We're gonna go warrior three. Launch it forward. So it's okay to fall out of the pose. Keep coming back to your why. When things get difficult, why are you on your mat? Another breath. And hands come down to a standing split. Let your head drop. Maybe roll the top ankle in both directions. And then from here, Jiva squat, gazes forward. Land it to a low lunge. And from here, high plank with the right leg hovered. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Left leg high, lead with the heel. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, bring it high. Bend your knee, open into the hip. But really try to push that right heel down. Straighten the left leg, inhale. Exhale, bring it through, low lunge. Warrior one, feet your right foot to the right, flatten it out. Keep the right hip forward as the arms come up, inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse warrior, inhale. Exhale, extended side angle, reaching forward. So opening up the right side of your body as the left knee stays to the left. Open through the hands. And then notice if you're kind of like hunching forward, pull the shoulders back towards their sockets here. Another big breath in. Back toes curl under. So you're pulling your right hip forward, just like crescent lunge legs, reach forward. So your arms are right next to your ears. And then we're gonna launch, warrior three. I gotta move a little to the side because I got my shelf here. So push through the back heel, gaze straight down, and then notice your right toes are probably pointing to the right. Try to roll them in, push back and lift through that right leg. Another breath. Standing split. drop. Soften your bottom leg so you could really push through that top leg. So when you're in standing split, your head drops. When you're in Jiva squat, gaze forward. Breathe here. Land it. We're gonna come up, or land it to low lunge and press into the hands. Keep the gaze forward. Hover the left leg, shift forward. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Here comes Jackson. Good, all right, so we're gonna warm up our body a little bit more and then we'll break it down. So, let's go ahead, bring the right leg high, inhale. Knee to nose, exhale. Inhale high, bend your knee, exhale, open your hip. Straighten the right leg, exhale, bring it through. Warrior one, inhale. Warrior two, exhale. Reverse warrior, inhale. Exhale, extended side angle with the arms forward. Now, think crescent lunge with the arms forward. One more breath in to launch it. Warrior three. Take a moment, get as long as you can in both directions. Take a big breath in. Exhale, standing split. Inhale, Jiva squat, maybe hands at prayer. And then land it to low lunge, high plank, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Left leg goes high, inhale. Knee to nose, exhale. Inhale high, bend your knee, exhale, open the hip. Straighten your left leg. Exhale, bring it through, low lunge. Warrior one. Remember, the hips and shoulders are forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse warrior, inhale. Exhale, extended, reaching forward. Go ahead and turn the hips and shoulders forward again. Breathe here. And then launch it into warrior three. Woo! Falling out of it, it's totally fine. Right away, connect to your why. So that way we stay focused. It's called your drishti, also your dharana is your concentration. And then we're gonna go ahead, standing split. Jiva squat, hands at prayer. Back to a low lunge. Find your flow through your chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Good, and then quick resting pose. If you need a sip of water or anything, go for it. We really want to heat the body up in the beginning of class and get going with it, right? But, and not get so caught up, like when we have to really focus and keep it going, we can't like just sit in our thoughts, right? We actually like, when you're moving a muscle, you're changing a feeling, you're changing the way you feel, right? So allowing yourself to connect how the breath, the movement, the thoughts, how it's all connected, like realizing if one gets affected, the others get affected. So let's go ahead and find our way into dolphin pose. And then we're gonna play around with that for a little bit. So line up your middle finger to your elbows down, fingertips forward. So you can tuck in the elbows a little tighter and kind of roll them out to catch that looser skin around the elbow. It's kind of like a little trick that helps, but we just want to try to not allow the elbows to go out, because when we do this, elbows out, we kind of just dump into it. Having engagement in the arms and like pushing the ground away will keep that strength that we're trying to build here. Toes curled under, neutral neck, straighten your legs. Breathe here. So as soon as things get difficult, it's easy just to give up, right? So see if you can stay for a little longer as you connect into your why. And I just remember that final Shavasana is going to be so sweet after you put in all this hard work, right? Stay a little bit longer. I get it. This is like my arch enemy pose. I still don't like this pose. So I totally get it. 3 more breaths. We can do it. Head is not on the ground. One more breath. And knees down. Whew, I got shaky there. Flatten your feet out. Just bring your, hi Layla, bring your arms back. Drop your forehead down. Try to feel like the back is opening up here. A lot of times we don't want to round forward, but after doing something like that, it's nice to create that space in the back. One more breath here. And then we'll go ahead and sit back up. We have like 10 minutes before our final Shavasana. So we can go ahead from here and let's go for like a half hero's pose instead of a full one. So the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna bring our right foot out to the right. And as you sit back and down, go ahead and then take your left foot to the inside of your right leg. So both legs look about like 45 degrees in that direction or in that like angle, and then twist over your left shoulder. Just for a moment, find a twist here. We're not going to come all the way down in the twist. We're just going to stay up into the twist for this one for just a moment. One more breath with it. To look forward, and then from your right knee back, I'm going to just scoot forward a little so I have more space. Take your right foot and kind of flip it back and massage it out, and then lean back. So this is like a half hero's pose. If you want, as long as your right knee stays down, you can lower all the way down and maybe grab opposite elbow or anything you want to do with the arms, because it's not like so important to grab opposite elbow here unless you're feeling like you really want to open up in the shoulders as well. Remember, all those little habits that you have is what's going to change you over time, whether they be healthy or unhealthy habits. So even coming back to like a mantra, like a constant mantra that you're working on, this is one of those tiny little habits. So it's like, what is your why? What is my why? Why am I doing this? Like, reconnect to that. And it's going to change probably over time, like from when you first started practicing until like now, especially with like online practice is going to be so much different than a in studio practice. So reconnect to your why over and over. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and come back up. And we'll go ahead and switch the legs for the other side. So I'm just going to like this, just rotate them to the other side. So let's just twist over the right shoulder now, finding a nice tall spine. I'm on the fingertips because that always helps to create more length. And really use the breath. So if you find like you're getting really stiff and tight when you go into it, then try to relax with the exhale. And from here, we'll look forward and then flip the left foot back and massage it out in case you get a foot cramp, just kind of preventing that opening up into your foot. From the left knee to the left hip, you're going to follow that line back if you want. You can stay right here if you're like, this is a lot going on for me. Then don't push it, right? The left knee needs to stay down. You could come down to the elbows. If your left knee comes up, either push it back down, or if it won't go back down, then back out. You could even take this into like a back bend if you wanted to puff up through the sternum and look back, or you can lay back and down and grab opposite elbow over your head. And maybe this side needs to be different than the other, and that's okay, right? We don't have to force each side to be the same. Hi, Layla. So yeah, I will be uploading one more video, and then we're gonna try the Zoom, which is exciting because I get to like in real time, we get to be accountable for each other, and we'll get to like really interact, which I think is a big part that we're missing now with this YouTube channel. So we're gonna try something new, and it could be something maybe I could use in the future with you guys. So go ahead and bring the legs back to center facing to the front of the mat. And from here, let's actually bring the soles of the feet together and make sure your heels are away from you. So they're not like super close, but we're gonna have our feet a good amount, like 20 inches out in front of you. palms up, hands go under your calves to the outside of your feet. And this is called turtle, so actually round your spine and tuck into your turtle shell. It's not the goal like that your head touches your feet, right? Don't worry about that, right? Just close your eyes and breathe here. And as you breathe, really visualize your back opening up here. And feel how the inhale can help you breathe into those areas. Hi. When we quiet down the noise of the world, right, we can take that time to really listen and connect to ourselves. So whenever you do feel really unmotivated, use this practice to reconnect, to understanding like, why am I doing this? And with anything in life, not just your yoga practice, right? But taking that time to reconnect to why you fell in love with something, why you're passionate about it, why do you keep doing it? And it may take some time to reconnect to it, but it's worth it to find that why. Oh, hi, girl. She's rubbing into my toes. And then we're gonna go ahead and sit back up and scoot forward and lay back and down, get the feet up. So you can take shoulder stand, but actually this is my second practice of the day, so I'm gonna just sit on my hands because tonight I have a catering. I need to conserve my energy a little bit. You could rotate through the ankles. If you liked plow pose and you love to end your practice with that, go for it. You could even separate your feet. If you have the wall, you could have your feet up against the wall. And you don't have to buy blocks. You could always use like pillows or blankets too in the poses like this, where you could just like place that underneath you. But it would be helpful if we all can invest in a few different things if you're just gonna keep practicing at home either way. But hopefully I'll see a few of you on Monday. And I understand if you're not back to work yet, but it would be awesome if we could start to see each other again before I leave in 2 months for Miami. So bring yourself down into happy baby pose. You could keep the knees bent. You can work the legs straight. Whatever you want here. Breathe into it. And then we'll bring the knees in. Give yourself a squeeze in. 2 minutes before Shavasana. So I'm gonna take whale tail here, right leg over for just a moment, pulling the feet in. And then I'm gonna wrap up into eagle legs. If you want figure four instead while we do this, I get it, you could go for it. It's just, this isn't for everybody. Go ahead and bring your legs over to the left and then reach and gaze to the right. So if you have your legs all wrapped up in eagle legs, squeeze them. If you have more figure four, your right foot goes to the ground. I'm sure that your motivation isn't to be perfect, right? So remember, motivation can be just to be more compassionate to yourself, to be more patient, to be more, to really fall in love with yourself more and more for who you are. Not what we think we need to be, but for really who we are. That's like a nice motivation, right? And so that can look like anything. It doesn't have to be a certain look for the practice. Go ahead and bring the legs to center, shake them out, and then switch. So let's first take a whale tail. I'm grabbing the pinky edges of the feet. So when I pull my feet in, I'm really feeling this in the upper IT band. When I release the feet, I'm gonna wrap them up. You could keep them like half wrapped up or figure four, and then bring your legs over to the right. Another trick too is kind of like lift, press into your right foot, and then scoot the hips, and then pull the left shoulder down. And then try to soften a little more on the exhales. Here I also like to rock in and out. If we kind of play with finding the edges of the pose, then we know where we want to settle into it. Like you don't want to push super hard, or you don't want to be like super like timid into it, right? You want to find that place where you can still grow into it. Gaze to the left, try to stretch out your neck here as well. I called the maintenance guy on that beep and they just never show up. So sorry about that in the background. I've had to get used to it myself. And then go ahead and bring the legs to center and really shake them out, shake them out, shake them out, shake them out. Bring the knees in, give yourself a hug, and then final Shavasana. Rest here, get as comfortable as you can and let it go. Natural breath. This is my why. When I can get to this point where it just feels good to be still. Because it's hard to really rest and be still when we're in a society that tells us we need to constantly do things and constantly improve and be busy. So giving yourself that permission to be still. Right, we're no good if we just run our tank on empty and our adrenal glands are just we're just burnt out. So it's good to take this time just to rest. Take a minute here to start to create a little bit of movement. Connect into your breath. Eventually making your way up to a seated pose, however you want to get there. Sitting nice and tall, relax the shoulders, maybe some neck rolls. Relax the face as you close your eyes. Bring your hands to prayer. Take what you learned out of this practice and apply it to anything in your life where you're feeling just unmotivated, you're tired. Maybe reevaluate why you do it, why you're passionate about it in the first place, and maybe how things have shifted. Connect into that motivation again so you can take care of yourself, so you can enjoy your life, so you can feel energized and empowered again. Thumbs to your third eye center. Bowing to the teacher in all things. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody. So I'll teach another class tomorrow. I'll upload it, and then I think then we'll be done with YouTube and work on these Zooms, and we'll figure it out together. I'm sure you all know how to do Zoom now, but you know, this is going to be a new platform for us for yoga. But it's going to be at noon. But yeah, if you can come to the gym on Mondays and on Thursdays, me on Monday and Karen on Thursdays, we would love that so much. But yeah, any feedback is always good. So have a great rest of your day. Bye.